Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Canto 8, chapter number 5, chapter entitled The Demigods Appeal to the Lord for Protection. Text number 44. नमोस्तु तस्मा उपशान्तशक्तये स्वाराज्यलाभा प्रतिपूरितात्मने गुणेषु माया रचितेषु वृत्तिभिर्न सज्जमानाय नभस्वदूतये. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is completely silent, free from endeavor, and completely satisfied by his own achievements. He is not attached to the activities of the material world through his senses. Indeed, in performing his pastimes in this material world, he is just like the unattached air. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We can simply understand that behind the activities of material nature is the Supreme Lord, by whose indications everything takes place. Although we cannot see him, even without seeing him, we should offer him our respectful obeisances. We should know that he is complete. Everything is done systematically by his energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. And therefore he has nothing to do. Na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. As indicated here by the word Upashanta Shaktaye. His different energies act. But although he sets these energies in action, he himself has nothing to do. He is not attached to anything, for he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna. So, we are continuing to discuss this chapter, which is entitled as The Devtas Appeal to the Lord for Protection. In this chapter, till now, we have seen how, having first described about the first four Manvantaras, and in the fourth Manvantara, the Gajendra Mokshana Leela happened there. So Parikshit Maharaj asked questions while he was discussing about the different Manus. So in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. And the eighth canto, the main topic that is explained in the 10 topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam is Manvantaro. Like every chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are different topics. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshanamutaya manvantaro ishanu katha nirodha muktirashraya. So atra sarga. So the third canto describes about the primary creation. Visarga, secondary creation, that is the fourth canto. Fifth is Sthanam, Vedic cosmology, how the 14 planets are created, about the details of this one universe. Sixth is Poshanam. Poshanam is nourishment. Then seventh is Uti, Utaya. Utaya means Good association leading one to have good inclinations. Bad association leads one to have bad inclinations. That is the seventh canto. Eighth canto is Manvantara. So Manvantara is the universal managers or universal administrators. So to manage this big universe, there are different kinds of demigods and different departmental heads are there. So in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. So during every Manvantara, there is a change. Like in India, at least like every 5 years, you have voting system. Who will be the prime minister? So there is vote, which means the government, there is for the change of the government, there is vote. So similarly, here also, the universal government, the universal management, there is the system. So eighth canto preliminary speaks about this, the Manus. So the first, second, third, and fourth chapter, as he was describing about the first Manu, about the second Manu, about the third Manu, fourth Manu. So at that time, Parikshit Maharaj asked the question about the Gajendra Mokshan episode, the pastime that happened during the fourth Manu. And then he began to discuss about the fifth Manvantara. And further, he was describing. Then the topic came about the Samudra Manthan episode, which is also a very famous episode in the Srimad Bhagvatam. So Parikshit Maharaj becomes very eager to hear about the Samudra Manthan episode. I want to know why and how did Lord Vishnu churn the milk ocean? Why did the Supreme Lord stay as a tortoise? And why did he hold up the huge Mandara mountain? How did the demigods obtain nectar? And while the ocean was being churned, along with the nectar or before the nectar, what are the other things that was produced from the ocean? So that's how we see from this chapter and further few chapters we hear about the famous episode of the Srimad Bhagavatam about the churning of the milk ocean like that. So then Shukdev Goswami begins to address what happened because of which this churning of the milk ocean episode had to be created. So Shukdev Goswami explains that once upon a time, Durvas Muni, he saw Indra who was seated on his elephant carrier called Airavata. And Durvas Muni, as soon as he saw Indra, he put his garland like Mahaprasad. When you have garland of the Lord, that is Mahaprasad. If when the Lord's garland is worn by a devotee and you get that, that is Mahaprasad, doubly auspicious. So here Durvas Muni gave his Mahaprasad garland to Indra. He removed it from his own neck. But Indra, because he was too much puffed up, what did he do with the garland? He took that garland and he placed it on the elephant's trunk, his own elephant, Airavat. Now, what would an elephant understand the value of Mahaprasad? So, Mahaprasad is very, very powerful. 11th canto, there are verses which speaks that if we carefully accept the Mahaprasad of the Lord, whether the garland or any other paraphernalia, that has the power to free us from the illusory energy of the Lord. Tava Maya Jayemahi. Like that one verse comes in the 11th canto. That any paraphernalia connected to the Lord or any paraphernalia connected to the Lord's devotee, if accepted with gratitude, respected properly, then that has the power to free us from Maya. So that way, this was like Durvas Muni's Mahaprasad, but Indra, because he was puffed up, sitting in the high position, the king of the demigods, everyone is reporting to him, and he has power, control, everything. So he couldn't respect the garland. And because he gave it to the elephant, what the elephant will understand the value of the garland. And immediately, lo and behold, what did the elephant do? He just threw the garland and he just crumpled the garland below his feet. That was a great insult in front of the eyes of Durvas Muni, who is known to be angry. Very easily, Durvas Muni can become angry. Very easily, Durvas Muni can become happy also. Like we have episodes where Durvas Muni is blessing. Even Radharani also Durvas Muni blessed when she pleased. Huh? Immediately he can be satisfied and easily he can be agitated. So in this case, Durvas Muni became very much agitated that this is the offense which Indra is committing to me because of his high power, position, and all. So therefore, it is very dangerous. Unless someone is able to handle all the wealth, power, position, any of the opulences one may have, but to handle that without becoming proud, that's a big thing. Therefore, Kunti Maharani prays. What does she pray? Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribi Edhamana Madhapuman Naivartum Abhidatum Vai Vama Kinchana Gocharam. Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribi. High birth, Janma, Aishwarya is wealth, Shruta is learning, and Shribi. Shribi is beauty. Edamana Madhapuman. Edamana. It can become extremely intoxicating. Nevartum abhidatum vai tvam akinchana gochara. When one is attached with all these four things, then one cannot call out to the Supreme Lord with feeling, because this creates pride, this creates intoxication. So, therefore, Indra, because of having wealth, also beauty, also power, one of can make one proud. He had everything. So, he became totally blind. So, he couldn't respect Durvas Muni. Like in Damodar Ashtakam, also we see in the second chapter of the Damodar Leela, the cursing of the sons of Kuvera. They're also the same thing. The sons of Kuvera, Nalakuver and Manigriv, because they were sons of Kuvera, the lord of wealth. Therefore, they're also same thing. Here, Indra is also proud because of wealth, and in Damodar Leela episode also, the two sons of Kuvera, Nalakuver and Manigriv, they also become proud because of having wealth. Here, Indra failed to offer respect to Durvas Muni, and in 10th canto, Nalakwer and Manigriv failed to offer respect to Narada Muni. We can draw parallels between these two episodes. Here we see Durvas Muni cursing, there we see Narada Muni cursing. But exactly the same lesson which we learn, that if someone is materially opulent, then it is very, very risky. Unless someone is strongly rooted in Krishna consciousness, unless someone has a very strong character, when one understands whatever I have does not belong to me, everything is belonging to the Supreme Lord. I am just the caretaker. If that attitude is there, then not a problem. But if that attitude is not there, then one may commit offenses, one may start disrespecting others, which can make the Supreme Lord and his pure devotees very, very angry. Because Lord and his pure devotees, they cannot tolerate one thing, that is when someone is proud. Why should someone be proud? Whatever we have is given by the Supreme Lord. But when we fail to recognize the Lord's grace upon us, and when we think that this belongs to me, I, me, and mine, then that leads to an offensive attitude. So, here also the same thing we see in both these 8th canto as well as in the 10th canto. And here Durvas Muni curses, there Narad Muni curses, you become trees. Here, what Durvas Muni curses, that everyone will fall down very soon. And the curse had an effect. The demigods immediately lost everything, and everyone started going to Brahma. Brahma was situated in the peak of the Sumeru mountain. They went to Brahma and they started telling him what happened. And Brahma immediately told that, okay, this is the thing that has happened. Brahma said, this problem is beyond me. So when there is some problem with the demigods, they go to their head of the department, Brahmaji. If Brahmaji is able to solve the problems, he is able to solve. If some problems are beyond Brahmaji, then Brahmaji takes all the demigods, 33 crore, and then he goes to the ocean of milk, and then he offers prayers. Even in the 10th canto also we see, when Mother Earth is having a problem, what? That Mother Earth is overburdened by so many kings who are externally dressed as kings, but internally they are all rogues and rascals. So Mother Earth goes to pray to Brahmaji. My dear Brahma, I am suffering. I cannot handle the burden of people who are dressed as kings, but who are actually rogues and rascals. So Brahmaji said, it is beyond me. Let us go to the ocean of milk and offer prayers to the Supreme Lord. So in 10th canto, they offer the Purusha Sukta prayer. Then the Lord, only they are able to hear the sound. They cannot see the Lord. So here also, the same thing we see, again drawing parallels here also, that Brahmaji tells, let us all take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Myself, Shiva, all Devatas, demons, all the different kinds of living entities, everyone has been created by the Supreme Lord. So therefore, what we have to do, all of us, we have to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So here also Brahmaji is taking all the demigods to the milk ocean, Shvetwadweep. There also Brahmaji is taking everyone to the milk ocean. And then Brahmaji is offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. That is what we are seeing in this series of verses, around 25, 26 verses. Whatever we are seeing here, that is nothing but Brahmaji, along with all the demigods, going to the ocean of milk and offering prayers. Why? Because the demigods need their residence. If we are out of our home, we are shelterless. Home is the place where all of us find shelter. But here, the demigods have lost their homes. So, therefore, Brahmaji, on behalf of the demigods, they are all going to the Supreme Lord. And so many beautiful prayers which Brahmaji offered, including offering prayers to the Lord's universal form. That also we saw the Lord's feet, then the Lord's semen, Lord's mind, Lord's mouth, Lord's eyes, the prana. So feet denotes the earth, semen denotes water, mind denotes the moon, like that. And then in today's verse, we come here wherein that prayer is again continued. And the theme of today's prayer, the link between the previous verse and this verse is even the Lord Himself is detached from the material world. Hmm? That is the theme, how the Supreme Lord Himself is detached from the material world. So, in this today's verse, Brahmaji and all the demigods are praying. We offer our respects to the Supreme Lord who is silent and who is free from endeavor. Upashanta Shaktaye. Hmm? That is what is mentioned here. Upashanta Shaktaye, who is silent, who is free from endeavor. And then the Supreme Lord is Swarajya Labha Pratipuri Tatmani, which means the Supreme Lord is self satisfied. Atmaram, Atmakam. And then the third point that is mentioned is the Supreme Lord is unattached to the activities of the material modes, just like the air, which is unattached. So, like that, three points are mentioned in today's text, that the Supreme Lord is Upashanta Shaktaye, Supreme Lord is silent, free from endeavor, he is self satisfied, Swarajya Labha Pratipuritatmani, and how the Supreme Lord is unattached to the activities of the material world. So, in the Prabhupada purport, we see Prabhupada says that we can simply understand that behind the activities of the material nature is the Supreme Lord, by whose indication everything takes place, although we cannot see him. So, this is the first point Prabhupada says, that whatever is happening in this material world, the show is run by the material nature. And the material nature is working independently? No. Material nature is working under the directions of the Supreme Lord. She is being guided by the Supreme Lord. She is the energy of the Supreme Lord. So, therefore, in the ninth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, I think 10th verse, Krishna says, Maya dakshena prakriti suyate cha characharam hetunanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. So, the same point which is spoken by the Supreme Lord Himself. Maya adhyakshena prakriti, under my supervision. Maya adhyakshena prakriti, Suyate sa characharam. All moving and non-moving entities, they are working because of under my superintendence. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam. Hetu nanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. And all the different kinds of transformations is being taken place because of the superintendence. Under my guidance, material nature is working. So someone may think that everything is done by the material energy. Hmm? But actually, it is all done by the Supreme Lord through the material nature. Devi Hesha Gunamahi Mama Maya. Again, in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, also Lord says, this divine energy of mine, Devi Hesha Gunamahi Mama Maya, Durattaya, very difficult to overcome. The divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature. So, therefore, we have to understand that this material energy belongs to the Supreme Lord. She is not working independently. Just like a chaste wife in the Vedic culture would not act independently, would always act under the guidance of her beloved husband. So, in the same way, the energy and the energetic, Shakti and Shaktiman, they both work conjointly, hmm, for running the show of this material world. Hmm. So, therefore, we see when in the first canto, fifth chapter, when Vyasadev is meditating on the banks of river Saraswati, what does Vyasadev see? He says that Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranahite amale apashyat purusham purnam mayam cha tad apashrayam. What did Vyasdev see when he was meditating? Bhakti yogena manasi. When Vyasdev was meditating in a devotional mood. Samyak pranahite amale apashyat purusham purnam. Vyasdev, in his meditation, he could see the Supreme Lord. And what did he see? Mayam chatad apashrayam. He also saw the illusory energy, Maya, standing near the Supreme Lord. Apashyat Purusham Purnam Mayam Chatad Apashrayam. And what did Vyasdev see? Yaya Sammohito Jivo Atmanam Trigunatmakam Paroti Kurute Anartham Tatkritam Chapi Padyate. He saw Yaya Sammohito Jivo. What was this material energy doing? Sammohito Jivo. She was totally bewildering all living entities. Atmanam Trigunatmakam. Although the living entity is transcendental with this material world, with the material body, but still under the influence of material energy, spell, he starts thinking that I am this body and I, me, and mine. This belongs to me. I am this body. This belongs to me. This belongs to me. Yaya sammohito jiva. So therefore, then what happened? How does the living entity become free from the clutches of the illusory energy of the Lord? So therefore, anarthopasamam shakshat bhakti yogam adokshaje lokasya tadajanato vidvams chakre satvata samhita. So therefore, Vyasadev, he saw the problem during the meditation that the material energy is bewildering all the living entities. So therefore, the solution he saw that Chakre Satvata Samhita, Anartho Upashamam Shakshat, in order to remove the anarthas, the unwanted desires. Bhakti Yogam Adokshaje. Bhakti Yoga is the only solution. Lokasya Ajanato, but people do not know. They are happily sleeping on the lap of the illusory energy. Therefore, Chakre Satvata Samhita. So, therefore, Vyasadev, he wrote the Srimad Bhagvatam because he understood that only by taking shelter of the divine transcendental sound vibration, one can become free from the effect of the illusory energy of the Lord. So, therefore, the illusory energy is always subordinate to the Supreme Lord. The illusory energy is acting under the guidance of the Supreme Lord, the material nature, everything is running. But the illusory energy is always under the subordination of the Supreme Lord. And she is running the show in this world. So we cannot see the Lord, and we cannot, neither we are able to see the illusory energy. But then the effect we are able to see. Just like an expert puppeteer with the strings attached, he makes the puppets dance. Similarly, the material nature or Maya, through her three modes, she is an expert puppet, and entire living entities, all of us, we are all like those helpless puppeteers. The way Maya wants us to dance, we are all dancing in the modes of goodness, somebody in the mode of passion, somebody in the mode of ignorance. We are all dancing to the tune being played by the illusory energy of the Lord. So, therefore, it is explained that Maya has these two potencies. One is known as Prakshepatmika and another is known as Avarnatmika. Prakshetmatmika means kind of kicking potency, and Avarnatmika means kind of covering. Hmm? So when I cover you with a blanket, then you don't know. You are totally lost. You are totally confused. So in the same way, how the material nature through her Prakshepatmika Shakti and Avarnatmika Shakti, how she is totally covering all the living entities, and all the living entities are totally bewildered, knowing who am I, what this world is, where did I came from, how to get real happiness, what is the purpose of this life, what is the goal of this human form of life. We are absolutely bewildered, we are absolutely confused because of the effect of the illusion energy of the Lord. We are like kind of chasing mirage in the desert. Many times this analogy is used. When someone is affected by the illusory energy of the Lord, then we are like chasing mirage in the desert. Hmm? From very far, it may appear, oh, there is water, there is water. If I walk a little bit, I will get the water. But actually, there is no water. It is only resembling like that of a water. When sun shines on the hot sand, so from far away, it may appear that there is water. But the more you go further, close, oh, there is no water here. Oh, but there I can see water. Let me go little front. Again, in the expectation of water, again we go. Again, there is no water. Hmm? So that's how material energy, her job profile is to fool people who are totally rebellious, to fool people, making them think if I do this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy. That is the job profile of material energy. To fool living entities in such a way to make us always feel that, oh, I'm not happy because I don't have this. Like from childhood, if I think about myself, I used to see my friends driving a bicycle, and I used to think, wow, my friends are riding a bicycle. If I also get a bicycle, then I'll be the most happiest person in the entire world. See how my friends are so happy. So I asked my parents that I want a bicycle, I want a bicycle, I want to play with my friends. So they told me, okay, if you get good marks in your fifth standard, then I'll purchase you a bicycle. I said, okay, I'll get good marks. So then I studied very hard, got nice distinction. Then eventually I got bicycle. So after playing for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, the so-called promise which my mind had made to me, if I get bicycle, I'll be the most happiest child ever. But that faded away. I'm not feeling so happy. Hmm? Initially, only that thing was there, but now, okay. Hmm? Then the bicycle was lying there. All the dust was falling on top of that. I lost interest. Then I think, oh, if I get a motorbike, maybe I'll be happy. Then you run behind getting a motorbike, then you get a bike. Then you feel, oh, bike cannot give you happiness. If I get a car, then I'll be happy. Then you start running behind a car. Oh, not this model car. If I get a high end car, then I'll be happy. So, similarly, if we see, that is the story of the life of each and everyone. How material energy, the way she promises, if at all you are unhappy because you don't have this, if you get this, you will be happy. Oh, you are still not happy? If you get this, you will be happy. Like this, the whole life goes in trying to be happy only by expectations. Mm. You people only keep expecting. If at all I have this, I'll be happy. If at all I have this, I'll be happy. If at all I have this, I'll be happy. But after going through the entire journey of life, seeing our own life, seeing the life of our parents, seeing the world around us, we understand it is not what I have that can give me happiness. Ultimately, happiness can come only when one is connected to the Supreme Lord. But that understanding not others can get. This understanding only as devotees, when we come to Krishna consciousness and when we understand the naked truth that how material energy is cheating us like anything, and all of us we are totally falling in trap under the dictations of the illusory energy, then we try to understand. So therefore, the only way to become free from the influence of the illusory energy of the Lord is when we take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Because the Supreme Lord is above the illusory energy. The illusory energy always works under the Supreme Lord. So, therefore, if the devotees also take shelter of the illusory energy, or if the devotees also take shelter of the Supreme Lord, then very easily they can also conquer the effects of the illusory energy. They won't be affected by the influence of the material energy. So, like His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj gives this example that he hails from Germany. So he tells that when he was a child, he used to go to drop newspapers at different houses. So one day he went inside, drop a newspaper. He did not realize that there was this big dog, maybe a German Shepherd or an Alsatian, whichever it was. And as soon as he saw the dog saw that someone has entered our property. Hmm? So the dog started barking and the dog started running behind Maharaj. Maharaj, as a young boy, he was so much afraid. He was running for his life, and this big dog, looking like a tiger practically, with his sharp teeth, it was running behind Maharaj, and Maharaj was shouting, please help, please help. And the dog was just running like anything. It looked at any time the dog will pounce on Maharaj. And at that time, immediately that owner of the dog came, and the owner said, Tommy, freeze! And immediately, in a second, the dog was like with the tail behind the legs. The dog immediately freezed. So Maharaj was sharing in one class that material nature is like a dog, and it is trying to run behind us to attack us. But immediately when we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, and when the Lord tells, Maya, he is my devotee, freeze. So immediately material nature does not trouble the living entity, because now we come under the shelter of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, unless and until we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, it is impossible to overcome the influence of the three modes of material nature. So therefore, the only way we can take shelter of the Supreme Lord is by the process of hearing and chanting. Only by practicing bhakti yoga can one be overpowered. One can overcome the influence of the illusory of the Lord. Neither by karma, neither by jnana, neither by yoga can one overcome the effect of the illusory energy of the Lord. Only by practicing devotional service we can overcome the influence of the illusory energy of the Lord. And practicing devotional service, that too in this auspicious month of Kartik, is very, 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 very auspicious, because whatever devotional service we render in this month of Kartik, the result is multiplied thousands of times. Therefore, amongst all the 12 months, because this month is especially very dear to Radharani, Kritika, so therefore Supreme Lord gives special blessings, special empowerment to anyone who practices devotional service in this month of Kartik. So therefore, whatever devotional service we do in this month, we should try to do it more. Try to get up for Mangalarti. Try to chant minimum 16 rounds. And if you're already chanting 16 rounds all through the year, then we should try to do more. 25, 32, 48, 64. Sky is the limit. Hmm? There is no end to how much we can chant. So recently I was in Jaipur. So generally the Mangal Aarti is at 5 o'clock. But for this Kartik month, they have at 4 o'clock in Radha Govind Dev temple. And in Radha Damodar temple, the Mangal Aarti is 3:30. So I thought, my God, 4 o'clock, 3:30, it's so early. Who is going to come? I was shocked. In morning 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5,000 people, they are there attending, where the weather is also very cold. 3:30, which means that people are getting up at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, taking bath and coming from their home to attend Mangalarti at 3:30 in Damodar, 4 o'clock in Radha Govind. I was shocked. I was surprised. I said, my God, in ISKCON temples we have at 4:30, but still very few people are able to go. But here Mangalarti 3:30 and people are attending. I said, wow, I thought one way to get inspiration in this Kartik month is I should come to Jaipur every Kartik, because this is a really, because when you see uh, association, it's very contagious. hmm, That very easily people in Jaipur can get early and go. Why? Because at the back of the mind they are seeing it is not me alone who am I getting up early to go for Mangalarti. Thousands of people have already gotten up. By 3 a.m., everyone is out from their bed. They are taking bath, and someone is attending in Damodar. Someone misses in Damodar 3:30. He comes to Govindji 4 o'clock. After Govindji 4:30, Radha Gopinath. Then Vinodilal 5 o'clock. So like so on and so forth. So we see mini Vrindavan. But the point is, this Damodar month is very auspicious for us to practice Krishna consciousness more seriously, more intensely, and the different kinds of vratas which devotees take depending upon their time, place, circumstances. But something or the other we should try to do because of the mercy that has been awarded during this month of Kartik. And every day we recite the Damodar Ashtakam. We meditate on the Damodar Leela. Last time we discussed in brief also about this Damodar Leela. And again, while discussing this Damodar Leela, we focus on this central point of the Damodar Leela, that how the Supreme Lord can be easily be bound. The Supreme Lord can easily be conquered by what? Who can tie the Lord? Who can catch the Lord? Mother Yashoda is trying to run and catch the Lord. Mother Yashoda is trying to bind the Lord. But it is only and only by devotional service that the Supreme Lord is bound by the love of the devotee. So again and again, this theme that only by love, only by devotional service is the Lord bound. No other way, no other way, no other way. So that is the central theme of this month of Kartik, in which we are celebrating this Damodar Lila, trying to remind us again and again that two fingers, endeavor and mercy. Yashoda Maiya's endeavor, one finger, and then Lord releases his mercy. So therefore, from our side, we try to put our full endeavor in this month of Kartik by trying to utilize our 24 hours in this one month in trying to engage in devotional service in whatever way we can, so that looking at our endeavor, hmm, that this devotee wants to see me, this devotee wants to serve me, this devotee wants to speak with me. Okay, hmm, let me be bound by the affection of the devotee. So that's what we see is a very auspicious. So therefore, we saw in today's verse how the Supreme Lord, different attributes of the Supreme Lord, Brahmaji is praying, and one of the attribute we saw here, that how this activities of this material world is run by the three modes of material nature, Maya, potency, and Prabhupada says how the Supreme Lord is actually directing the illusory energy. Everything is taking place under the illusory energy of the Lord, and the Supreme Lord is directing the illusory energy. Although we may not see, we cannot see the Supreme Lord, we cannot see the illusory energy in person, but we should know that everything is happening under his energies. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we have 5 more minutes. If anyone has any quick questions or comments, you are free to ask.
Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very nice class, Prabhuji. Just
Thank
one
you.
question I have. When you were mentioning the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, the I forgot, the Truti, Poshnam, and Sarga, Visarga, and everything. So, the Bhagavatam shlokas are 18,000. So, originally, when Sri Vyasadeva ji started writing, did the Bhagavatam had more than 18,000 or like it was
Yeah,
like
we
that
hear,
only?
yeah, we also hear that it's like the glories of the Lord are unlimited,
Mhm.
like a cotton. So you can extend the cotton, or you can expand or contract. So in the same way, Srimad Bhagavatam also we hear different planets. There are Bhagavatam with lakhs of verses also. But here, and there is also Chatushloki Bhagavatam. We hear which Lord Brahma spoke to, which Lord spoke personally to Brahma. That is the second canto, ninth chapter. Chatushloki in four verses. He could understand the essence in four verses. That is also there. And that is and we have our Bhagavatam 18,000 verses. Then there is again Brihat Bhagavatamrit, after which Parikshit Maharaj speaks to Uttara. That is also like kind of essence of Bhagavatam. So the principle is time, place, circumstances.
Mhm.
According to that, great souls may choose to give the message. Essentially, the same principles, but the length more or less, expand or contract. That is depending upon their own prerogative of the acharyas. So here we see for us Shukdev Goswami has given us in
Mhm.
18,000 verses
So
like that.
the topics could be more or less like according to different
Yeah,
Bhagavatam.
yeah, possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Here Shukdev Goswami is mentioning about 10 topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now for 7 days what he has spoken. So that verse comes in the second canto, 10th chapter, first verse,
Mhm.
the
Sure.
verse which I quoted. 2:10:1.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Well, another thing was you mentioned about the energy of the Lord. There were two types you mentioned. I forgot the name actually.
Hmm.
Avyatmika, and then there was another one you mentioned, like one like the categories.
Prakshepaत्मिका.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah. One is Prakshepaत्मिका
Prashapatmika. Okay. Hmm.
and another is Avaranatmika.
Pranatmika. Okay.
In one
Sure.
purport, Prabhupada mentions
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prakshepaत्मिका and Avaranatmika. In one purport, I think third canto, 30th chapter,
Mhm.
text number 4 purport, Prabhupada mentions about these two. You will find that 334. So
Please,
Prabhupada will speak in 3.30.4. So he tells Maya has two phases of activities. One is called Prakshepatmika and the other is called Avarnatmika. So Prabhupada says Prakshepatmika means pulling down and Avarnatmika means covering. Like that he will explain in third canto, 30th chapter, 30, text number 4 purport. You can refer.
Mhm.
Hmm.
There's one other question I have, Prabhu, about like we recite the Damodar Ashtakam in Kartik month.
Hmm.
Mostly I've seen it like in ISKCON and Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees are reciting this. And Deepdan is common, like, other sampradayas, they also do like Deepdan is very important in Kartik. So is the Damodar Ashtakam is also like universal to other sampradayas or it's only given in the Brahmadav Gaudiya Sampradaya?
Hmm. Damodar Ashtakam is given by Satyavrat Muni.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't think like whether he is like Gaudiya Vaishnav. I'm not sure. So that prayers must be common for others also. Other sampradayas may also choose to recite the prayers.
Okay.
Our acharyas have overemphasized it more, so therefore we focus on it more because the principle and the mood of the prayers which Satyavrat Muni has given, our acharyas have like stamped it. Okay, the prayer Satyavrat Muni being not exactly Gaudiya Vaishnava, a devotee of the Lord. More details I also don't know because not much is mentioned about him in Bhagvatam or anywhere else. At least I have not read or heard about much details.
Mhm.
Many times, when the mood of any prayer is in line with the philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, then our acharyas will kind of put a stamp on it and approve that prayer.
Mhm.
Otherwise, they would not have selected. So it's like some general prayer or some general someone from some devotee of the Lord, maybe some from other sampradaya or somewhere. But because the mood was very much matching, so therefore acharyas picked it up and then they gave it to us. He may not necessarily be a god from Gaudiya also. So other sampradayas may also choose to sing this. They may be singing also these
Sure.
prayers.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you for this wonderful class during this very important month. I wanted to check with you about this deep dan. I mean, the lighting the diya is different from dan.
No, same.
Okay, I thought maybe you have to give dan somewhere.
No, Deepdan means lighting also. And
So,
Deepdan also many people sponsor for the lamps also. Na? Today I sponsor, for this month I sponsor. That is also there. But essentially Deepdan means we offer the lamp. That is the principle. But any activity, yagya, dan, tapa in this month done, any kind of chanting, any kind of donation given, or any kind of austerity that has a lot of value also, that is also there. We can
okay.
always do that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, what is the difference between Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya?
Vidya and avidya.
There are two Mayas, right?
Huh. So in the Ishopanishad also, this terminology comes about vidya and avidya. So depending upon the context, the meaning changes. But uh, if we take like avidya is like the ignorance aspect is there, no? And vidya we can take like knowledge. The like ignorance is avidya and knowledge is vidya. So that aspect also we can take about this thing. One is forgetfulness and one is coming to know who we are. So that way also we can take, but contextually many times the meaning of vidya and avidya also many times it changes. You see, like in Ishopanishad, one place I think we were discussing in our Bhakti Shastri class, text number 9, 10, and 11. It speaks about this vidya and avidya. So in 9, avidya is material pursuit for sense gratification, and vidya is trying to gain knowledge of how I can get sense gratification. So this both is like bad, vidya and avidya in that context. Then I think in the 10th verse also again Ishopanishad, vidya and avidya is explained. So again there avidya is knowledge of blind pursuit of sense gratification, and vidya is knowledge of coming to know about the reality of how it is worthless to run behind the mirage in the desert. And 11th verse also same thing. But yeah, so kind of in context also many times the meanings of vidya and avidya change. But uh, but if you speak from Krishna conscious perspective, yeah, avidya is like knowledge that deals with matter, anything that has to deal with a matter, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Jada Vidya Jata Mayara Vaibhava. So all the knowledge that deals with only matter, that is actually avidya. And vidya we can see in terms of the devotional aspect also. Whatever knowledge we are getting from scriptures, that is also vidya. One understanding like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
So the verse number you mentioned 11, is that from the Ishopanishad? For the
Which one?
Vidya, you mentioned about some verse number 11 or 10 something.
Vidya, avidya.
Is it from Ishopanishad?
Ishopanishad. Ishopanishad 9, 10, and 11
Okay.
also has this vidya, avidya. Vidya, avidya.
Okay.
But depending upon the context, in 9, 10, and 11, the meaning is different.
Okay.
But if one does not understand the meaning, simply goes by the word vidya, avidya, one may get confused.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I had a
Hare
question
Krishna.
about this. You were saying Chaturshloki, is it the Bhagavad Gita verses or the Bhagavad? Could you explain in short about it, Prabhuji? Which verses so I can refer to
Chaturshloki
it?
is also there in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Second canto, ninth chapter.
Second
Second
canto.
canto, yeah, second canto, ninth chapter. There is a conversation between Lord Brahma and the Supreme Lord. So when the Brahmaji appears from the lotus stem, and at that time he does not know totally who is, what is the purpose of his appearance, and he is totally bewildered. And at that time he hears this word tapa tapa, and at that time Brahmaji goes into meditation. For a long time Brahmaji meditates, and after meditation Lord Brahma gets the darshan of Vaikunta. And after getting darshan of Vaikunta, Lord asks Brahmaji to speak. At that time, Brahmaji is asking questions to the Lord. My dear Lord, I want to know about your material and spiritual forms. I want to know about your energies. I want to know your pastimes in relation to your energies. And please give me guidance so that I can serve you without pride and I can serve without getting bound. So that time, Lord speaks about the Chatushloki verse, which comes in the second canto, ninth chapter. So there, text number 33, 34, 35, and 36. So 33 is first Chatushloki, second Chatushloki is 34, third Chatushloki is 35, fourth is 36. That also kind of gives the essence, Srimad Bhagavatam, which Lord spoke to Brahma, and that then later on Brahmaji like expanded, and then it's like there. So Chatushloki, then it is expanded in Parampara. That's how it is explained like that. So we
Okay.
can
Thank
refer
you.
to 33, 34, 35, 36, second canto, ninth chapter.
Chapter 33 to 36. Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
second canto, ninth chapter. These are the answers. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. That was very helpful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to ask or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for
Dandavat
such a
Pranam.
wonderful and clear class, Prabhu. Every message that you gave, it was like very clearly mentioned. I have one question, Prabhu, about uh, all, how should I put it? All the services or the seva that we do at home. Not every time we pray, right? Like, Krishna, please give me more service. Like that thought does sometimes we just do it. Like in the morning, we get up, we offer ghee lamp, and so Prabhu, is just offering is that gonna have any spiritual benefit when compared to actually offering prayers and then performing that spiritual activity?
Ultimately, Prabhupada writes in the Nectar of Instruction, I think in the preface, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends upon the attitude of the follower. So ultimately, Krishna consciousness all depends upon the attitude, the mood in which we do. So it's all about a proper consciousness. So therefore, it is not about what we do, how much the quantity we do, but it's all about what is the attitude. So an attitude of gratitude is very much needed for making rapid spiritual advancement. So therefore, every day we chant, we are asking the Lord for service. So therefore, in order to develop the proper mood, proper attitude, we strongly connect with the sound vibration. So when early in the morning, in the association of devotees, here we have through Zoom, somewhere we have offline. So when we pray in the morning, chanting is nothing but a prayer. We are getting ourselves spiritually charged. So we are developing that right mood and attitude. Then throughout the day, whatever services we may do, automatically that proper attitude will come because we have chanted our rounds properly. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, before seva comes the sadhana aspect. First sadhana, then do the seva. Because if we are not rendering our sadhana properly, our hearing chanting, and then if we render our services, the tendency of doership may come in. I did this. I. And Lord does not like this I word. And when we do our sadhana nicely, then we understand. Let me, whatever I am doing, I am just a puppet, my dear Lord. Recently, also in the Sunday class, Guru Maharaj was speaking. Always he shares this point. When Prabhupada was traveling on his Jaladuta, as soon as he saw that Boston harbor, he was writing that poem, Markine Bhagavad Dharma. So in the last few lines, Prabhupada says, I have no devotion, I have no knowledge, but I don't know why you have brought me here, my dear Lord. This world, this United States of America, it is totally a different country altogether. What principles people are following and all. How am I going to convince them? But if you have brought me here, certainly you have some business. Otherwise, why you do bring this wretched soul on the other side of the world? Huh? But please make me a puppet. You are a puppeteer and I am a puppet. Nachao Prabhu. Nachao se mati. Kashtera putli yata. Nachao se mati. Please make me dance. Please make me dance, my dear Lord, according to your tune. So Maharaj says, whatever we may do, we should always remember this. So kind of I caught that point. What is my take-home message in the Sunday class 4 days before I heard? So that was this PUPPET. 6-letter word was my take-home in the first 20-25 minutes. And then he spoke about Narottam Das Thakur. But I caught this point. So that mood of if I'm a puppet, what independence the puppet has, whatever The puppeteer makes you dance, we dance accordingly. So when our sadhana is proper, then whatever services we render, if we do in the mood of the puppet, I am not the doer. Krishna is the doer. My guru, spiritual master, he is the doer. Then Krishna and Guru may perform miracles through us. Then that service is also pleasing to the Supreme Lord. But if that mood of proper mood is not there, then many things we may get done. But without devotion, without an attitude, Krishna will not be pleased to accept that, how much ever great. So Krishna does not see the magnitude of the service. Krishna sees the attitude of the service. That's what he told Hanumanji also. When Hanumanji was telling the squirrel, "Hey squirrel, why are you coming between? Don't you see? I am throwing the mountains away and you are coming in between." So Lord Ram interfered and said, "I have given you strength to do big service. Your service is pleasing to me. But whatever strength I have given to the squirrel, whether it is a small grain, whether it is a big mountain, that is immaterial to me. But the important point is rendering the service with proper attitude." Does that answer your question, Premanandini Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. I
Thank
heard like a few classes back that when we are offering services, we should like pray. We should say that Krishna, please give me,
we
bhakti.
we may not
Yeah, but
do it consciously, but the morning prayer, if the
yeah,
Maha Mantra has been taken shelter, then it's there within. We may not
yeah,
consciously say, but everything happens
it's
in
there.
that mood.
Yeah,
If
because
the
that is
morning
very
sadhana is
difficult
there,
for me. Yeah, that
hmm,
is very difficult for me, Prabhu. I can't remember like whenever
everyone,
I'd say all the prayers, but I cannot like I don't remember to say Krishna, please give me this, or I'm like Krishna knows what is good for me, and my Guru Maharaj, he will take care of.
yeah, so proper sadhana is there, then automatically that mood will be there. We may say it, we may not say it. That doesn't matter. We may not
Thank you.
remember everything also.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Really
Thank you.
appreciate. Haribol.
Very cool. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandava Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji, I just have a quick clarification or a question. I know the potency of reciting prayers is, double in this month, right? So they do advise us to
Not double,
recite,
more than that.
right? They do the recommendation is that we recite Gajendra Moksha prayers on a daily basis. So where do we find, is it the prayers from the Bhagavatam or is that the Stuti mantra or?
Bhagavatam.
Okay, so it's the verses that we recite?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you so much for this
Bhagavatam.
class and such a wonderful question answer session. The Premnandi Mataji's question was so
Yeah.
practical, and
You know.
your answer was so practical to Prabhuji, so enlightening. So thank you so much for the class and the explanation of Damodara month and everything. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So
Hare Krishna.
anybody has any question or comment? Okay, we can end up the call here. Vancha kalpatarvasya kripa sindhu vavacha patitanam pavanebhyo namo namaha. Anand
Vaishnaveभ्यो नमो नमः.
Jai Namacharya Sridhar.
Jai.
Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Jai.
His Grace
Jai.
Gopal Prabhu. Jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Kartik month. Jai. Radha Damodar ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.